you and those far from you, from one end of the earth to the other end of the earth. You shall not accede to him and not hearken to him. Your eye shall not take pity on him, and you shall not be compassionate nor conceal him. Rather, you shall surely kill him. Your hand shall be the first against him to kill him, and the hand of the entire people afterwards. You shall pelt him with stones, and he shall die. For he sought to make you straight from near Yahweh, your Elohim, who takes you out of Egypt from the house of slavery. All Israel.
So that following the other guys. But like I said, now our people got us following other guys because they did it slick. I see how Satan did it too, man. I'm gonna keep all the 100 with you. Satan tried to waited for Mashiach Yasha'Allah to get them set up. Then Mashiach Yasha'Allah, we let brothers in and had all these different doctrines. So now people looking at Mashiach Yasha'Allah like it's a mix up of different doctrines. And then brothers in Mashiach Yasha'Allah that was following a true doctrine at the beginning, now they start to follow false doctrines. And now it's a spotlight on what they're doing. So now people can be deceived or follow behind a false doctrine because it's elders in Mashiach Yasha'Allah that's following behind daggone lies. And then the elders of Mashiach Yasha'Allah want to act like they want to kick you off of Mashiach Yasha'Allah, or that they got a personal problem with you because you calling out false doctrines that they keeping
regularly.
And then they may want to even get personal and start to mudsling on you. You see that?
Well, that's how they got left.
But when you sit down with the book don't tell you follow all these different things, man. So it's either a lie or it's the truth. It can't be both. You can't have a new moon on a white moon, a new moon on a black moon, and a new moon on a crescent moon. It's impossible. But see what Satan did, he used other brothers to influence brothers in Mashiach Yasha'Allah, and now got them brothers thrown off. Then them brothers got the rest of the nation thrown off. And what started out as the effort to bring the nation together under one government, one set of doctrine under the 12 Torah articles of belief, is now what? Is now just not the articles of belief, different doctrines floating around. So how in the world are you going to bring a nation or a government together if you ain't all rallying behind the same thing? And that's why the office of Torah, of Mashiach Yasha'Allah, of which this is the elder. So how now you going to set up a government and have a man that's over the Torah and now say we ain't going to do what we say the Torah says, we're going to do our own thing? What kind of level of respect and sense does that make?
And we're sticking to the 12 articles of belief, which is what the Bible represents.
You see that? So now everybody following these different gods, and now demons is coming through. You can see the demons. Ain't none of them ever talking about Christ. Problems in the schisms in Israel. Nothing consistent to bring brothers back to Yahushua, unite Israel under Yahushua. Nothing consistent bring brothers back to the Torah. You don't never see them things. It's always a controversy. It's always something disrespected, something vile, something vulgar, something opprobrious to draw and attract your attention to what? To what? Opprobrious, vile, disrespectful. You see? And the fact that Satan is very cunning. He has put different points, different ways to disrespect and to violate the truth in our midst. And our people are following it unknowingly, maybe even unwillingly, because they haven't studied for themselves. But now that's why you got elders in certain offices to weed out the nonsense and to help the journey of truth for all men seeking truth in the name of Yahweh Yahushua. And that's what the Torah reading is about. So we cover these things in the Torah. But I want to give me a breakdown. We get a breakdown revolve around the Torah. Get a breakdown to 613 first. All right, go ahead.
Deuteronomy chapter 13, verse 12. All Yasha'Allah shall hear and fear, and they shall not again do such an evil thing in your midst.
You read about the dreamer and stuff already?
Yeah.
All right, so you got dreamers in Israel too. Brothers come and got dreams and visions that we supposed to use the book of Enoch and the crescent moon is the real moon. And a lot of you brothers, man, a lot of y'all brothers are spiritual urchins, you spiritual parasites. You got a doctrine you follow, then you hear another doctrine that seems to make sense, so you take from that. And then you say, well, the man that brought it to me, he's wicked, he's evil, he's crazy. He's a crazy nut in the desert. But then you absorbing everything he taught you, and you hijacking his stilo. You're doing everything he taught, but then you kick him to the side. That's low down, disrespectful, and dirty, man. And that ain't of the Most High. That ain't of the Most High. That ain't of the Most High. Because the Most High don't mix the bitter with the sweet. He don't mix the hot with the cold. Okay? Brothers say, yeah, we need to do this. Well, yeah, we're going to do this. Yeah, this how you do the New Year. That's how you do the New Year. Well, this is who the real Israelites are. Yeah, this is who the real Israelites are. Well, this is the fake. This is fake Israelites. Every lie that somebody has taught and brought forth is not being brought forth by somebody that is known for the Torah. You known for something else. They ain't known for the Torah. Why ain't the Torah teachers coming forth with these new? Because we mind our business sticking in the Torah. That's why. We ain't got no new doctrines because it's all in the Torah already. Ain't nothing changed. Ain't nothing changing. It's all in the Torah already, and that's what we done go by. New moon, it's in the Torah. Who's the Canaanites? It's in the Torah. Who's the Israelites? It's in the Torah. When's the month start? It's in the Torah.
So we're getting a better understanding based on Torah.
More refined, more thorough based on Torah. Okay? Go ahead.
Verse 13. If in one of your cities that Yahweh your Elohim gives you in which to dwell, you hear saying, lawless men have emerged from your midst, and they have caused the dwellers of their city to
What they
go
call
astray.
Belial. That's what they call lawless men. Go ahead.
Saying, let us go and worship the gods of others,
So an Israelite city, somebody said, let's go worship another God. Read.
that you have not known.
You don't know who this God is, man. What you talking about? We got no relationship with this guy.
You shall see.
They say, let's go worship Aphrodite with the crescent moon. That's what they said. Let's go worship the god Sin, the crescent moon.
Or every other
Let's go
nation
worship
that's-
Ishtar with the crescent moon.
Or every other nation that's following the crescent moon.
Okay.
The peculiarity of Israel was that we did things contrary to what the other nations were doing. Not similar. Go ahead.
You shall seek out and investigate and inquire well, and behold, it is true, the word is correct. This abomination was committed in your
It
midst.
said inquire, search, and act diligently. So that shows you what you're supposed to do with every legal proceeding. You said this is the only one this is the only time you're supposed to inquire, search, and act diligently? No, with every single legal problem where somebody's being accused or somebody did something wrong, you're supposed to follow the same procedure. You're supposed to search out, act diligently, and then you're supposed to make sure that everything lines up. Okay, go ahead.
You shall surely smite the inhabitants of that city with the edge of the sword, lay it waste and everything that is in it,
It
and
says-
its animals.
It say smite the whole city with the edge of the sword. Wow. Go ahead.
And its animals and with the edge of the sword. You
The,
shall-
the animals too. It said kill the animals and the people. Because they was in the wrong place at the wrong time. So as soon as you say, yeah, man, if we was in the city of, if you was in Ephraimite's territory and the city, in the town of Naira, and they come and say, yeah, we're going to start worshiping these false gods. Oh, come on, sheep, it's time to go. Me and my sheep, my chicken, we about to leave. We got to go. Pack up y'all stuff. Pack up y'all stuff. Time to go. Or, man, what they did in Maccabees, though. Remember what they did in Maccabees, right? What they do in Maccabees? When they said, when the real soldiers stood up, they said, let's worship these other gods. What they did? They killed them right there on the spot. With no debate, yeah, let's have a summit about it. Let's have a meeting about it. Let's have a consortium. What? Nah, he's like, he's gonna kill you. And he killed them. They got killed. That's what I'm saying. The more and more you in this truth, the more you see, like, ain't no debating, man.
It is what it is.
You debate points you debate points of a general truth.
Right, a difference of opinion.
Yeah,
but
you don't
agree
debate
you
left
agree
and
upon
right.
You agree upon the truth, but you might have a different opinion on a certain point of that.
Right.
And that's how you can agree to disagree, but not on left and right. Like
You don't debate on the white moon or the black moon is the beginning of the month. It's the Torah. The Torah is clear about it. All time begins in darkness. But people want to say all scripture is given for inspiration, for doctrine, and for correction. They want to use that, but they don't want to use the Torah to base that doctrine and understanding on.
Incorrect.
And that's the difference with the office with the Mashra Yasha'Allah office of Torah. Torah is the first principle that we use to establish any subsequent doctrine. And if we can't find it in the Torah, then it's not important. And it's not going to be a matter of, it's not going to affect your walk in the law. Okay, it's not going to affect your walk in the law. But these other nations, worshiping these other gods, that's not a matter of debate. You going after another god, not a debate. It's idolatry. Crescent moon, following the Sabbath according to the moon is idolatry. Following the Sabbath according to the moon is idolatry. Period. Following the crescent moon for the new month is idolatry. Go ahead.
Verse 17, you shall gather together all its booty to the midst of its open square, and you shall burn in fire completely the city and all its booty to Yahweh your Elohim, and it shall be an eternal heap, it shall not be rebelled. No part of the banned property may adhere to your hand, so that Yahweh will turn back from the burning wrath, and he will forget, and he will give you mercy and be merciful to you.
So the most of they don't take nothing from that city.
And multiply you, as he swore to your forefathers, when you hearken to.
All right, so now, and you kill the animal, you kill all the animals. And the Most High wanted animals that was in regular living circumstances for sacrifices because he wanted the blood. The Most High wanted the blood. I want the blood. Because the blood is the life of the animal, and it's the life of the animal that atones for your sin. Through the power of Yahweh, at that time Yahweh wasn't having much to do with the atonement process. So it was the animal that was atoning for you. The animal and the priest was giving up of their knowledge and skills and their purity to the Most High for you, for us in our sins. And that's what the animals were for. That's why we had to kill the animals. But now, in these cities, if you got these animals in these cities, what do you think they're going to be used for? Most likely, man, they're going to be used to worship these other gods at some point or another. So Moses said, man, kill anything that was earmarked for idolatry. Kill it all. Kill it all. Go ahead.
Verse 19, when you hearken to the voice of Yahweh, your Elohim, to observe all his commandments that I command you today, to do what is right in the eyes of Yahweh, your Elohim. Kal Shirah,
Kal Shirah,
Bar Yahweh,
the Bar Yahweh,
Na'isha,
Nashemah.
All that Yahweh said.
All that Yahweh said.
What we doing here?
What we doing here?
Let me see how they got that verse 2.
That one wasn't in the last verse you read wasn't in the blue letter. It went right into
Yeah, that's because y'all,
the next chapter.
yeah, that's because it, talking about the blue letter?
Yeah.
Yeah, the blue letter's not set up with the Hebrew, that's 14:1 he had read. It's 14:1 in the English Bible.
It goes into cutting yourself, so make it baldness.
Which one, verse
14:1.
14:1. Yeah.
In the blue letter.
In the Bible Hub too.
What verse did he stop at? 18, right?
Well, shit.
19.
Well, in here, in the King James, and
Yeah, it stops at 18.
yeah. So 14:1.
It's the next portion.
It's the same 14:1 is cutting in your flesh.
Oh.
So what are you talking about the next verse?
I think he read 19 on that one. That's the one that was missing.
Okay. When you hearken to the voice of God. No, I see here. Look like it's 18. You know, it probably started at a verse late.
Okay.
It says when you hearken. Yeah, at some point they had a different chapter arrangement. The 13.
It said that the first verse of the last verse of chapter 12 is supposed to be the first verse of verse 13. No, the first verse of 13 is supposed to be the last verse of 12.
If there arise a prophet, dream a dream.
It says
The
here.
entire word. Yeah, this is 32. This is 32. Okay, yeah. That's what it was. So 13:1 in the Hebrew is 12:32 in the English. Yeah, bring it back here while she's in a good mood. Any more rush on this? This whole thing is like, don't follow after people that's worshiping other false gods, man. You know, a lot of people can say stuff about a lot of people personally, their personality, they dirt they done in the past, good and bad things, and say this person got a beautiful personality, this person he's just mad. This brother breath always be stinking. This brother be smelling like sunshine all day, man. And, this brother he encourages me to be in the truth, man. This brother make me mad the day I woke up. But then, what about the doctrine in the Torah? See, that's what we got to talk about. Forget about the whole personalities. See, Israel, Yasha'Allah, we so captivated by personality. What about the Torah doctrines? What about what you teach and saying about Yahushua? What about all of that? That's what we're going to base right and wrong on. Salvation or damnation is based on Yahushua and the commandments. That's it. All this other stuff is just dirt that people are flinging and slinging against other people. And then a lot of false accusing going on too. Well, this brother is this brother is that. Well, what's that at? If there's a problem, address the problem. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Brother, a brother made a post the other day. Oh yeah, we can have, we can lay down and have, we can have sex on the Sabbath. You know what I'm saying? I asked him, I said, brother, can you get in touch with me or whatever? You know what I'm saying? We can't really do that, man. I think I put your brother a message or whatever. Cause I ain't friends with your brother. So I said, I wrote him a message. We can't do that. Send him a message. We can't do that, and this is why. That was it. Talk to your brother. A lot of faith. Yeah, look at this brother right here. You see, Isaiah was at the summit. He was selling bean pies with a son. It was 12 noon on the Sabbath. He was selling bean pies. Here's the picture right here. Why come you ain't approaching? How come you ain't approaching? Like, brother, you wrong. You're supposed to do that. It's a Sabbath. Oh man, you know what? You sure right. My bad, man. I'm thinking, I don't know what I'm thinking. My days is mixed up, man. I was in Hawaii the other day, then I was in Alaska, then I was at the International Dateline. My whole time zone is messed up. Forgive me. Most I forgive me. I appreciate you pointing out to me, damn. And now you good. The brother like, yo, man, good looking out, man. Man, I'm capital punishment. Now you good. But you sitting back watching, that's an evil nigga, man. That ain't no righteous man in the Most High. That's an evil Negro. You want to say Negro, you want to say nigga, you want to say Israelite, that's an evil dog. That's what the Most High say. He called people greedy dogs. Yahweh shall call people dogs in the scripture. So let's say dog. That's a greedy dog, man. You sitting back watching a man sin, and you ain't going to say nothing about it. Ain't that against the commandment? Ain't that Leviticus 19:17, right?
Yeah.
What that say? What does that say, y'all? Leviticus 19:17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor and not suffer sin upon him. So if the Most High said don't suffer sin, meaning don't allow sin to stay on your brother, does that mean go to the summit, see what's happening, don't say nothing to the brothers, and then go back home and make a video about it? Is that what that means?
Video series.
A series, part 1, Sinners of the Summit. Is that what that means? And wait for Wait, now video number 7, y'all gotta tune in. I need 3,000 subscribers for the 7th video to come out because it's gonna be the 7th of the series of Sinners of the Summits. Quadruple S's.
The showdown.
The showdown. The showdown of the series of the 7 of the Sinners of the Summit. Instead of going to the man. Only people I know that went to people at the summit to say they was doing something wrong was Lakam, Yahushai, and Karada Zayah. Only 3 I knew. Everybody else, it was either cool, don't have no problem with what was going on, or didn't see what. No, it was either cool what was going on, or went back and made a video about it. I don't know about nobody that said something to stop. And then you got brothers saying, well, you got brothers saying, well, yeah, it was only 30 minutes before the sun went down. Okay. That's the same people be like, well, it's only 30 minutes before I clocked in for work on the Sabbath. It was only 30 minutes, after the Sabbath started. How come it ain't never, brother, how come it ain't never, well, the Sabbath only been over for 30 minutes. Let's keep on keeping the Sabbath. How come it's never that? How come it's always, let's break the Sabbath before it's over? How come it's never, let's keep more of the Sabbath? Ever think about that? How many times on the Sabbath we might just be sunset just on the conference call and still dealing with brothers, right? So the point of the point of the matter, so the point that I'm trying to make is the fact that if you see a brother doing a sin, the scriptures say go to the brother and talk to him and tell him what he's doing, right? That's what it say. That's what it say. Tell him what he's doing. So sit back making a video about what the brother did that you didn't like, and now you're gonna put him on blast, and that ain't righteous, man. That's breaking the law. The law say tell your brother, Leviticus 17 and 19 and 17. Leviticus 19 and 17 says rebuke your brother and not suffer sin upon him. See, you want to rebuke, but then you want to suffer the sin upon him. Meaning, try to get that sin off him. How do you get that sin off him? By telling him. By telling him. Just like I know that you're doing something bad, and I'm going to wait until I get home and make a video about it. And that ain't telling you, that's telling everybody else. That's being the talebearer. That ain't telling you. That's telling everybody else about you. After I didn't even tell you, though. That's not doing what the scriptures say. Scripture don't say do nothing like that.
It's the opposite.
You're doing the opposite of what the scriptures say. Scripture say rebuke your brother, not rebuking. Scripture say don't suffer sin upon him. You suffer sin upon him. The scripture says tell him. When you're rebuking him, you telling him. You ain't telling him, you telling everybody else about what you want to say to him about what he did. Be a man and talk to him face to face, one-on-one. Do a video chat if you ain't in his city. Call him on video call if you want to talk to him. Like, yo, brother, you supposed to be you breaking the law, man. That's why you gotta have a crew of Israelite brothers, man. You got a crew of brothers that say, brother, you doing this ain't right, man. And you better be making sure you kind of got a tight Torah game too. Well, now, man, you can't, brother, I ain't gonna argue with you about it, man. You can't eat shrimp, period. Well, show me that in the Torah. I ain't gonna show you nothing. I ain't showing you nothing. You can't. If you don't know where Yahushua said that, I'm proving it to you, boy. I'm going to show you in the Torah. Read the Torah and you see it for yourself. When did Yahushua give verses, book, chapter, and verses when he was teaching people? He said, is it what? What did he say? Is it what? What would he say? He'd be like, is it not written? Or did not David say this? Or did Moses say this? He didn't say, brother, turn with me, get out your phones, and turn with me to go to Leviticus chapter 19, verse 17, and read that. You know why? Because they knew they was taught the law. They knew what he was saying was true or false. But nowadays, brothers don't know what you're saying is true or false from the Torah because they don't read the Torah. But they can tell you every way and backwards how to say Gentile, Greek, Grecian, Hellenic, in the Hebrew, Spanish, Latin, and the Greek. All right, from the Vulgate and the Textus Receptus. What are you doing, man? From the Vulgate and the Textus Receptus, right? So, The law is what we gotta be. So if somebody doing something wrong, man, you gotta tell them. That's what this whole chapter is about, right? Don't follow behind these other gods. So now you see Israelites following behind other gods. You gotta go to them like, yo, you doing this wrong. When we did brothers following the crescent moon, we told them, yo, this is wrong. Brothers doing lunar Sabbath, this is wrong. We ain't gotta get into the whole big debate on Facebook and do or debate on YouTube Live about it. Wrong is wrong, right is right. How many of these debates actually end in people following the right way? That's part of the debate. You might have people in the audience. Man, that's mainly who it's for. People in the audience that may be on the fence. But the person that's up there debating, they usually got a lot of pride on their point. They really, let me rephrase that, they really are pretty firm on their point. They ain't going up there for you to try to convince them. They're going up there to show you that they know what they're talking about. Okay? So anyway, following behind these other gods, the Most High said that person is supposed to be put to death. And he said, if you saw it happen, he said, you're supposed to be the first one to lift up your stone and throw it against that person so that they die. The Most High take rebellion very seriously, man. Rebellion of the children against their parents, rebellion of a wife against her husband, rebellion of a husband against his elders, and rebellions of everybody against Yahweh. Yahweh take that seriously. That's why he said you're gonna have to give account for these people with grief, and that's gonna cause your spirit to be unprofitable. Is what he said in was that Hebrews 13 verse 17 and 18, right?
So,
Yeah. All right, so
Isaiah, Ban Troy, Ban Gad, Ban Yashar.
Ahmad Rock.
Yeah, but I can come Yahweh by Shem Mashiach Yahweh Shai.
yeah, but I can call you Yahweh by Shem HaMashiach Yahushua. Man, this where we at? No, we there.
14.
Okay. Yeah, 1, 2, 3.
It's 4.
Hmm?
It's 4.
Okay.
Hebrew.
No, you want to see that?
But the young,
The sons
the dumb,
you are
the Yah, Waha,
La Yahweh.
La Yahweh,
Of Yahweh,
Al-Hay, Kayam,
Alahayim,
Al-Hayakam,
Alahayakam. You said that right? Your power,
La.
not
Tata. The what?
you shall cut yourselves,
Wala.
nor
Tashiyam. Wa.
shave,
Korwakaha.
baldness,
Bayan.
between
Ayan. Yakam.
I. Say that again.
Ayan. Yakam.
Your eyes,
Lamath.
on behalf of the dead,
Kaya.
for
I'm.
a people,
For the wash. Kodash.
Kodash, holy,
Ath.
you are,
La'ahawa. La Yahweh.
to Yahweh,
La'a.
no,
Oh, Allah.
uh,
La Yahweh Allah.
no, La Yahweh,
Ali.
Al,
Oh, that's one word.
yeah,
Come. Al-Hawar.
what's the word? Alahayika, yeah, Alahayika.
Al-Hayaka.
Your power,
Wabak.
Wabak, what?
That's the end of the word, right?
Wabaka? What's that word?
Wabaka.
Is that right? And you
Bakar.
has chosen
Yahweh.
Yahweh
Lahayawata.
to be
Loa.
for himself
La'aim.
a people,
Sugalahas.
a special treasure. Look, are you looking on, Aryashon?
Khan.
Is that right so far? Alright. Go ahead.
Nobal.
Mobile,
Nokal.
above all,
Ta'aim. Ya. Ta'aim. Ya.
ha, what is that word? Aryashon? Ha'ayim, the peoples
Ashar.
who are
Al.
on
Hunya.
the face
Hadar. Ya. Ha. Hadar. Man. It's like it. Hadar. Ma.
ma,
Ma.
of the earth,
La.
It's a Hadama.
ha, adama, right, of the earth. What'd you say?
La.
La, not,
The Aqual.
you shall eat,
The Cow.
huh, say it again.
The Aqual.
You shall
Cow.
eat, all, any,
The Wa'aim. Ha. The Wa'aib. Ha.
detestable thing. Alright, that was, 1 through 3. That's it.
It's too fast for me.
Okay, really the whole portion, Deuteronomy 14, 1 to 21.
You are the children of Hashem Yahweh Yah Elohim. You shall not cut yourselves, and you shall not make baldness between your eyes for a dead person. For you are a holy people to Hashem Yahweh.
But real quick, also, that go into like shaving your eyebrows too. These are practices, right? That go into eyebrow shaving too.
And repenciling your eyebrows?
Yeah, it's a car and Ephraim be doing that stuff, man. You gonna cut your eyebrows off and then draw them in.
Well, you meant that.
No.
I was about to say.
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, some of the men in Mexico was doing that, yeah. Remember dude down the block? At the other Privadas, like 2 Privadas down? You see him down there? Yeah. Yeah, he comes with his eyebrows.
Man, more than that, but we'll leave that alone. It's Shabbat.
Come.
Verse 2. For you are a holy people to Hashem Yahweh Yah Elohim, and Hashem Yahweh has chosen you for himself to be a treasured people from among all of the people on the face of the earth.
So we are the superior race on the planet. Don't care if nobody like it or not. We are above you, all of us are above, superior to every nation on this planet. Well, why did the Most High put us there? because of the promise he made with our fathers, and so that we would be a light for the other nations to follow behind Yahweh righteously also. That's why every leader is put in a position of leadership. Look at Moses. Look at Yahushua. Right? Look at David. Humble men, but powerful. That was meant to lead the people in the right direction. True or false?
True.
So it'll make you think that now you above all nations, you can just beat everybody down and tear guts with the sword. We're going to do all of that. David did that. Moses had some warrior instances too. Yahushua flipped over tables and was beating the brothers with the whips. So we're going to have our war. But the point is to bring everybody back into the same place where Adam was at, which was a righteous king in holiness over Yahweh's creation. So we are holy people. So we don't think, talk, act, drink, and eat like everybody else. Right, go ahead.
Verse 3. You shall not eat any abomination.
Okay.
These are the animals that you may eat.
So you can't eat any abomination. Go ahead.
The ox, the sheep, the goat, the hart, the deer, and the yakmar.
This is the top type of deer.
The ako,
Wild goat.
the daishan, the
It's
tio,
like the bison.
the zamar, and every animal that has a split hoof, which is completely separate from in the two hooves, that brings up the cud among animals. You may eat, but this shall ye not eat. From among those that bring up the cud or have a completely separated split hoof.
So it got to have 2 feet on the ground, split, and then they have 2 little prods sticking out from the back of that foot. That's cloven footed, and then that's the split hoof. That's what it's talking about. And they got to chew grass, be a grazing animal. That's the 4-footed beasts, like cow, goat, sheep. All right, that's the type of animals got to be. All right, and then it's going into the antelopes. All right, you can eat bison, buffalo, antelope. All right, go ahead.
The camel, the hare, and the hyrax. For they bring up the cud, but their hoof is not split. They are unclean to you.
So you got to be all requirements. Go ahead.
And the pig, for it has a split hoof, but it cheweth not the cud.
So this pig has a foot. He has a split hoof, but he don't chew the cud. He's not a grazing animal. So it has to be an animal that grazes. Come.
It is unclean to you. From their flesh you shall not eat, and you shall not touch their carcasses. This you
No
may...
pigskin. No pigskin football. And I ain't about to be watching somebody throw pigskin up and down the field either.
This you may eat of everything that is in the water. Anything that has fins and scales you may eat.
Only fins and scales, that's it. No other creatures in the waters can you eat. Go ahead.
And anything that does not have fins and scales you shall not eat.
Anything that don't got fins and scales, you can't eat it. Go ahead.
It is unclean to you.
Tama'ah.
Every clean bird may you eat. This shall you not eat from among them.
So these are the birds that are not clean.
The nashir,
This is the eagle,
the perez,
ossiferous,
the asnaya,
that's an osprey,
the ra'ah,
that's a glebe,
the ayah,
that's like a kite,
the daya,
vulture.
according to its kind.
So these are these are kind of raptor type birds. These are like raptors, the ones that come down with their claws and swoop up the prey.
And every orivi according to its kind.
That's like a raven and what's the other family? Raven and what's the other one? Crow, right? Like raven and crows, you can't eat those.
The bas haya na,
Like that, they just being silly. That's an owl.
the takmos,
That's a nighthawk.
the shaf, and the netes,
That's the hawk.
according to its kind.
So okay, so these are like all the animals. These animals right here, are like animals that either eat off of dead carcasses regularly, looking for dead things to eat, or they'll They'll eat off of just a live animal, capture it and just attack it and eat it.
Like vermin.
Like vermin, possums, rats, right? Squirrels, rabbits, right? Baby bears. An eagle try to get a baby bear and eat it. You know, just small bear cubs. Okay.
Verse 16. The Kos,
Little owl.
the Yanushef, and the 10 shimmies,
Which is a swan.
the Kas, the Rakama, and the Shalak.
So all these are, once again, raptor animals that attack their prey. That's how they eat. Mostly, a lot of attacking birds are carnivores, only eat meat. Then some of these are waterfowl. Waterfowl, I mean, these are birds that hang near the waters and always, they're in, like, be in the water chilling. Like that?
Come on, verse 18. The Shayada, the Anafa, according to its kind.
So the stork and the heron, like a red heron,
The Dutch Ifas,
The bat?
No, he didn't get there yet.
and the Atalef,
That's a bat.
verse 19. And
Okay, well, in verse 17, that was the pelican, the gear eagle, and the cormorant. All right.
Yeah. So all these, I mean, you don't know what some of these birds are, but we know all their characteristics. They were birds that were waterfowl birds, birds that, you know, would go and attack other animals so that they could eat, birds that were, would eat off of dead animals, and eat off of dead, just eating dead stuff, all right? And then, those are the three main types. All right, go ahead.
verse 19. And every flying swarming creature, it is unclean to you. They shall not be eating. Every clean bird may you eat, and you shall not eat any carcass.
You shall not eat any.
You shall not eat any carcass. To the stranger who is in your cities shall you give it, that he may eat it.
Now, what stranger is this? Is this an Israelite stranger? Is this an Israelite stranger in my city? I can sell something the Most High just told me not to eat. This is a Gentile stranger.
Okay.
And the question I got is, if a Gentile is in my city and he a slave, where he getting his money from? He getting paid to be a slave? So obviously we had Gentiles living among us that were strangers, that had money, that could buy food.
Okay.
Also, what are Timbs made out of cow leather or pig leather?
I don't know.
Yeah, be careful with the shoes that you wear. Let's go back to that. Be careful with the shoes that you wear because they can be made out of unlawful material.
Timbs don't want black people wearing this.
Yes, well, that's a political argument, not really
Okay.
Torah. Don't know either. Yeah, they do want you wearing their stuff.
But they make a statement saying they did.
Who they want to wear it?
Huh?
Israel's the backbone of their whole business.
For years.
I never seen no Edomite wearing Timbs until like to this day. They may, I'm sure they wear them, but my point is that be careful what you put on your feet and what you wearing because it could be against the Torah.
Okay.
It could be against the laws of the Most High. You know, the leather got to be from a clean animal, so you got to ask them, hey, where's this leather come from? You got to look at the leather and know. Pig skin always have little dots and little specks in it.
For their pores.
Yeah. Pig skin is not going to look the same as regular leather. Okay, it's gonna look more little specks and spots on it. All right. And then with these little food stuff, once again, if you go into a place, there's nothing wrong with having a pet pig, or pet eagle, or a pet hawk. It ain't the animal that's unclean, it's with the carcass that the Most High don't want you to eat. A lot of people say, well, yeah, you know, why do they have pigs in Israel? That's why the New Testament is fake. What was the pig doing in Israel? What do pigs do?
Eat trash.
They eat trash. That's what it was doing. They eat trash. They got their own little bin. You put all the trash in there. They keep.
They need some pigs today up in Israel.
Yeah. I don't think maggots really grow around pigs, do they?
I know.
If they did, the pig would probably eat it.
Yeah.
It's in their blood though.
Yeah.
It's in their system.
Yeah.
So a pig is an earth cleaner. Pig is like the walking catfish.
Right.
He eat all the trash. Whatever you put before him, he'll eat it. You give him he'll eat everything. Whatever you want, he'll eat it. So a pig is a human compost. All right, pig is a human compost.
Come.
Okay.
So it's a human compost. He take it, process it in. Now, there's nothing unlawful with using pig manure. All right? Because when you go out, you know, you think that when you get a garden and you get a piece of land, let's say you go and get a piece of land and you ready to make a little garden out there. You think that all the squirrels and cats and dogs and your raccoon and the raccoons in your neighborhood done skipped over your little piece of grass? Oh no, that's Israelite grass right there. We can't caca in that.
That's the heart.
That's Tahar. that's Adamah Tahar. Now they pooping it, and what's it doing? It's building up the soil. It's building up the soil. So it build up everything that decomposes like that builds up the soil. So they could have took that pig stuff and probably processed it. Let it sit, let it dry, and then bam, you put it in the soil. Nothing wrong. Caca is caca. All right? All right, let's go.
Verse 21. You shall not eat any carcass. To the stranger who is in your city shall you give it to him that he may eat it, or sell it to a Gentile. For you are a holy people unto Hashem Yahweh Ya'alahayim. You shall not cook a kid in its mother's milk.
Now in Iran, by Tehran, they got so many pigs in the forest up there by Tehran. They got a big forest up there. And even down south by the coast, they got forests. But the forest got so many pigs. And remember, Iran is a Shiite Muslim country. They got so many pigs there. You know what they do with the pigs? Can you guess what they do with the pigs? Can you guess? Canst thou guess? They take the pigs, they catch them, all right? They kill them, they process them, they package them, and they sell them. They sell the pigs to other people, other countries. Most High didn't even tell us to do that. He said nobody's supposed to be eating this, but for diet itself, you can sell it to them. But he didn't say thou mayest feed the Gentiles the pig and the camel. And then the Muslim, Muslim, we serve the same God. Nah, because y'all God told y'all to eat some nasty camel meat. Our God said don't do it. We don't serve the same God. The God of Islam is not the God of the Bible. It's a different God. Our God said don't eat shrimp. Y'all God said, Our God said Shabbat. Y'all God said no, the 6th day. Our God say polygyny, whatever. Your God said no, 4. Our God said Moses. Your God said Muhammad. You see that? It's different gods. Ain't the same God. So even the camel in here in Turkey, they can eat camel. Somalians eating camel. In Saudi Arabia, they eat camel. Because camel is clean to them. To us, Yahweh said, to Yahweh, not even to us. Yahweh said it's unclean, don't eat it. The meat is unclean. But can you ride a camel? Yes. Can you use camel hair? Yes. Can you use bristles from off of a live pig to make a boar's brush? Yeah, why can't you? You can use the hair from a camel. Why can't you use the hair from a pig? But can I take that camel in his flesh and make a camel skin jacket? No. Can I make a pig skin jacket? No. Can I eat camel guts? No. Can I eat pig guts? No. Can't eat the animals. You can deal with the pig, deal with the pig, and deal with the goat, and deal with the rabbit. But you can't eat them. They was meant for your service. But you can't eat them. don't eat these animals. All right. So the Muslims, they say, oh yeah, you can eat this. We say, nah, Yahweh said don't eat that.
So we really not supposed to be dealing with like fur coats and stuff.
If you can get it live, get that hair off them. But
Not the skin.
not really. I mean, you got to really go into the etymology of what do it mean by carcass.
What separates the
The carcass from the hair and the skin. Ask that question, Zay. How you find out and get back to us. Okay?
Okay, where you
Finish the question. Should I
Uh,
go to
yeah.
two now?
at? No, finish the chapter. Finish the chapter.
So, it's because I got sneezing rubbing my nose.
So read to the end of the chapter.
Come. You shall tithe verse 22. You shall tithe the entire crop of your planting to produce of the field by year, and you shall eat it before Hashem Yahweh Yah Elohim in the place that He have chosen you to rest His name there. The tithe of your grain, your wine, your oil, and your firstborn cattle of your flocks, so that you will learn to fear Hashem Yahweh Yah Elohim all of the days. Of the road will be too long if the road will be too long for you, and you cannot carry it because the place of Hashem Yahweh Yah Elohim have chosen to you to place His name there is far from you. For Hashem Yahweh Yah Elohim will bless you. Verse 25. Then you may exchange it for money and wrap up the money in your hand and go to the place that Hashem Yahweh will choose. And you may spend the money on for whatever your soul desires, for cattle, for flocks, for wine, and for alcoholic beverages, anything that your soul wishes. You may eat it there before Hashem Yahweh Yah Elohim and rejoice, you and your household. You shall not forsake the Levite who is in your city, for he has no portion or inheritance with you. At the end of 3 years you shall take out every tithe of your crop in that year and set it down within your cities. And then the Levite can come, for he has no portion or inheritance with you. And the proselyte and the orphan and the widow who are in the cities, they may eat and be satisfied, in order that Hashem Yahweh Yah Elohim will bless you and all of your handiwork that you may undertake. Kala Shara,
Kala Shara,
Debar Yahweh,
Debar Yahweh,
Naisha,
Na'isha,
Menashemai.
Menashemai.
All that Yahweh say,
All that Yahweh said.
what we do in here.
What we doing here? Well, we see here in what verse is that? Verse 24, that if the journey, meaning your journey to get to Jerusalem, was too far for you, that you wasn't able to carry that which you were going to give to the Most High, and that which you was going to eat, you was to convert it into money and buy the money in your hand. Then when you got to the Most High, where you're going to make your offering and have your feast, then you would change that money and buy that which your soul lusts after, whether it's sheep, oxen, wine, or strong drink, or whatsoever that soul lust desireth within the confines of the law. So this is the time we see money being used to help facilitate a holy convocation. Then also we see we gave our portion to the Levite. At the end of 3 years, thou shalt bring forth a tithe of thy increase of that same year.
What chapter verse you on?
I just finished 14. No, 15 or now.
Would you commentate on?
14. So we see Levi receiving his portion at the end of the 3 years.
in his home, the town where he's living at and working at,
Come.
Bill Gates.
So that was the 2 points of, I commentated on. You discussed the point as far as seeing a kid in his mother's milk.
Yeah, you supposed to. It doesn't. There's no law against dairy and meat being together. The law is against a goat being boiled in his mother's milk. That's it. That's the law. They don't say you can't have a cheeseburger,
Right, but they use this law,
which actually sounds pretty good.
they use this law to, make make the claim that you're not supposed to have meat and dairy together. But that's not what this law is saying. It specifically designate a kid in its own mother's milk.
Period. You can't add to it nor take away from it.
So, that was the,
Now these Muslims, man, they'll sell you the stuff that they say they ain't supposed to be eating of, but we won't sell it to them. But they'll sell you pork. All y'all neighborhoods where all y'all grew up in, you can go less than a mile away from your house and find that Arab that's called himself a Muslim, ready to sell you tobacco, which, alcohol, which they say is haram, right? They say you ain't supposed to do alcohol. They're ready to sell you some pig, bacon, which they say is haram, is unclean. They're ready to serve all this stuff to you, but then they say it's unclean for them.
back in the day.
So how we serving the same God? How is the God of Islam same as the God of Yasha'Allah, the God of the real God? Okay.
All right. Yeah, anything else you want to commentate on that? We're in 15.
Well, I can read 1 through 18, and you want to do this to the rest.
What, reading ink?
Parzah ban Zayatan, ban God, ban Yasha'Allah, Manwa, Barakwa, Yabarakam Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shah, Mashiach.
Yeah, I know that word cut. You have Hashem, you have Shah.
You want me to do it?
Huh?
You want me to do it? Irish dress. She go this way. All right, so I'm in Deuteronomy chapter 15, verses 1 through 18. Am I reading it straight in Hebrew or English or what? Makwatizah, Makwat Shabai Shaniyam Daisha Mashita Waza Barak Ha Shamta Shamwat Kal Ba'ail Mash'ah Yadwa Ashira Yasha Bara'aichwa La'ah Yagash Ra'aichwa Wa'ath Achyawa Kayakwara'a Shamata La Yahweh. Ath Haganaria Thagash Wa Ashira Yahya Laka Ath Achyaka Dashamat Yaka. All right, chapter 15, verse 1 through 18. At the end of 7 years, you shall institute a remission. This is the matter of the remission. Every creditor shall remit his authority over what he has lent his fellow. He shall not press his fellow or his brother, for he has proclaimed a remission for Yahweh. You may press the Gentile, but over what you have with your brother, you shall remit your authority. However, may there be no destitute among you. Rather, Hashem Yahweh will surely bless you in the land that Hashem Yahweh your Elohim will give you as an inheritance to possess it. Only if you hearken to the voice of Hashem Yahweh your Elohim to observe to perform his entire commandment will I command you to do, which I command you today. For Hashem Yahweh your Elohim has blessed you, as he has told you. You will lend to many nations, but you will not borrow. And you will dominate many nations, but they will not dominate you. If there shall be any destitute or poor among you, any of your brethren in any of your cities, in your land that Hashem Yahweh your Elohim gives you, you shall not harden your heart or close your hand against your destitute brother. Rather, you shall open your hand to him. You shall lend him his requirement. Whatsoever is lacking to him, beware lest there be a lawless thought in your heart, saying, the 7th year approaches, the remission year, and you will look malevolently, badly and hatefully, upon your destitute brother, and refuse to give him. Then he may appeal against you to Yahweh, and it will be a sin upon you. You shall surely give him, and let your heart not feel bad when you give him. For in return for this matter, Hashem Yahweh will bless you in all your deeds and in your every undertaking. For destitute poor people will not cease to exist within the land. Therefore I command you, saying, you shall surely open your hand to your brother, to your poor, and to your destitute in your land. If your brother, a Hebrew man or a Hebrew woman, will be sold to you, he shall serve you for 6 years. And in the 7th year, you shall send him away from you free. But when you send him away from you free, you shall not send him away empty-handed. Adorn him generously from your flocks, from your threshing floor, and from your wine cellar, as Hashem Yahweh your Elohim has blessed you, so shall you give him. You shall remember that you were a slave in the land of Matazarium, and Yahweh, Hashem your Elohim, redeemed you. Therefore I command you regarding this matter today. In the event he will say to you, I will not leave you, for he loves you and your household, for it is good for him with you. Then you shall take the awl and put it through your ear, through his ear and the door, and he shall be for you an eternal slave. even to your maidservant shall you do the same. It shall not be difficult in your eyes to send him away free from you. For twice the wage of a hired hand, 6 years, has he served you. And Hashem Yahweh your Elohim will bless you in all that you do. All right, here we see that Israelites could buy other Israelites. Generally, a man would sell himself to a man that could afford to maintain him and his family for a long time. Okay? So in the 7th year, that man would go out free. But if he didn't want to go out free, he had a specific ceremony he had to go through and say, I want to be with my master. I don't want to leave him. But then they'd go to the door and put an awl, like a big needle with a hole, put it through his ear. And that would show, I want to belong to you forever. So that's the only way that the Israelite could be a slave or a servant to another Israelite forever. All right, anything other than that, you couldn't do. You couldn't do anything other than that. All right, so now, Yahweh is also showing that, you can't say, well, I'm not going to help somebody because it's about to be the year of the release. So you got to still help people no matter if you're going to get back what you helped them with or if you're not going to get it back. You can't be selfish and stingy to help people. All right? And that goes by dropping this word. You got to drop the word and the truth on people, whether they accept it or don't accept it. Whether they're going to receive it or not receive it. You plant the seed or you water, Yahweh give the increase, not you. All right? And also we see you can press the Gentile for his money, but you can't press the Israelites to give you the money that you loan them. All right? You can press the Gentile, but you can't press the Israelite to give you the money back after the 7 years is up. Okay? You can press the Gentile, but you can't press the Israelite. The Israelite gotta, he gotta be, exempt from all debts that you owe him. All right, next reader. You gonna run it back to the cycle. I mean, drops it. What y'all using? What is that? 10 of each? Yeah, it's about that. All right, so who gonna read next? You or who gonna read next?
I'll read it again. If
Nah, you got
it's so commanded.
Now you gotta go around.
Well, we got the, if he's doing the cycle over, he can kind of
Okay.
finish up.
All right. Finish at 15.
Yeah.
Okay. Finish at 15. Stop it. 11 verses. Probably let him do 3 and then let Amari come up.
Knock our way through. Cause we're going to 16, 17.
You let him do the first 3.
All right. Sorry, don't cut it.
Amagwa. Barakwa. Yabarakam. Yabarakaka Yahweh Bashem Yahusha.
Hold up. Where's he at? Chapter 15, start from verse 19. Let me
Gotcha. I was crossing these out.
In English.
oh, English.
How to?
So he's showing the Torah portion. So he's gonna start from verse 19 and do 3 verses in English.
Every firstborn male that is born in your cattle and in your flock, you shall sanctify to Hashem Yahweh. Sanctify
Do you want to
to
do it
Hashem
in the room
Yahweh.
or upstairs?
Flock,
I
your
didn't choose.
Alahayim,
All right,
you shall not work
all right.
with the firstborn of your ox, nor shall you shear the firstborn of your flock before Yahweh your Elohim shall you eat it year by year in the place that Hashem Yahweh will choose you and your household, if it shall have a blemish, lameness, or blemish, blindness, or any serious disease, you shall not slaughter it to a sinner your Elohim.
Okay, Mario.
Amama, Rak,
What? I didn't get that. I didn't get what he just said. Oh, okay, so you're gonna go from he read okay, so finish up the chapter and then go to the next chapter and go to verse 17.
In your city shall you eat it, the contaminated one and the pure one alike, like the deer and the hart. However, you shall not eat its blood. You shall pour it on the ground like water. Kol Shara,
Kol Shara,
Bar Yahweh,
the Bar Yahweh,
Na'asha,
Naisha,
Benashima,
Benashemai,
all that Yahweh said.
all that Yahweh said.
What we're doing here.
What we're doing here. So we see the commandment of not eating blood. The blood is the spirit of the animal. The life of the animal is found in the blood. So the Most High told us to pour the blood onto the ground, into a hole. Okay, so when we prepare our food, we prepare our food to take as much blood out of it as possible. And then we finish the cooking process to the desired dish that we're trying to make. So the first process in preparing meat is the removal of the blood. Through boiling, through with vinegar, salt, kosher salt, okay, soaking, boiling, combination of the two, or boiling for sure, to get the blood out of the meat. Okay, continue.
You shall observe the month of springtime and perform the Pesach offering for Yahweh, your Elohim. In the month of springtime, Yahweh, your Elohim, took you out of Egypt at
So
night.
we see the month of Abib, which occurs depending on the moon and the solar equinox between the month of March and April. Okay, the month of Abib. And then from that start of that month, we count our days to have the start of Pesach, and then the start of the Feast of Unleavened Bread. All right, continue.
You shall slaughter the Pesach offering to Yahweh,
Which is a lamb. They also say goat when you're reading the Torah, but tradition we say lamb. Go ahead.
your Elohim, from the flock, and also offer cattle in the place where Yahweh will choose to rest his name. You shall not eat leavened bread. You shall not eat leavened bread with it.
So for those days which he will read, which is 7, we will not eat bread with leaven in it, meaning a rising agent. All right, we will eat unleavened bread for those 7 days. Why? To commemorate our passage out of Egypt, not having time to allow the bread to rise. So we took the bread that was in the troughs and the baking pans and cooked it as it was. All right, continue.
For 7 days you shall eat matzahs because of it, bread of affliction, for you departed from the land of Egypt in haste, so that you will remember the day of your departure from the land of Egypt all the days of your life. No leaven of yours shall be seen throughout your boundary for 7 days, nor shall any of the flesh that you slaughter in the afternoon before the first day remain overnight until morning. You may not slaughter the Pesach offering in one of your cities that Yahweh your Elohim gives you, except at the place that Yahweh your Elohim will choose to rest his name. There shall you slaughter the Pesach offering in the afternoon, when the sun descends. Here,
So before the sun fully descends, we start the process of preparing the Passover meal of the slaughtering of the lamb. All right. Read that again.
except at the place that Yahweh your Elohim will choose to rest his name, there shall you slaughter the Pesach offering in the afternoon, when the sun descends.
So in the process of the sun descending, we will slaughter the Passover lamb.
Yes, read that part again, real quick, with that verse, what verse you in?
Quote your verse.
Verse 6.
Alright, so verse 6,
Deuteronomy
It says,
16.
at the evening, at the going down of the sun. So before the sun is down, but not fully down, and it's still considered to be the 14th day. So when you see that light, the sun hasn't fully gone down yet, because you can still see a light from the sun. Alright, so now the thing is that
14th day.
that it's on the 14th day, it's still the 14th day when you slaughter it.
Uh-huh.
This is called in the Hebrew, Bayan Ha'irabim. It says between the evenings. In Exodus, in Shemot, Shamat, it said it calls that between the evenings.
Okay.
So the point is that,
From evening to evening.
yeah, from evening to evening, but between the evenings is that time period before the sun goes down and after the shadow has started to get long again. Because then the longer the shadow, them long shadows turn to what? Darkness.
Okay.
Okay?
So the 15th day is the start of,
The Feast of Unleavened Bread.
okay, so
Come.
we're still in the 14th day of what he's preparing for.
When you killing it, yeah.
Okay.
Then
Good.
when the sun goes down, now you're on the 15th day.
Right, which is the Feast of Unleavened Bread.
Right.
But we're doing the Pesach ceremony still on the 14th day before the start of the 15th day.
Okay.
All right, just clarity, so those.
Yeah, so yeah, okay, good. Well, check this right here. What's the percentage? Go ahead.
You shall roast it and eat it in the place that Yahweh your Elohim will choose. And in the morning you may turn back and go to your tents. For a 6-day period shall you eat matzahs, and the 7th day shall be an assembly to Yahweh your Elohim. You shall not perform labor. You shall count 7 weeks for yourselves. From when the sickle is first put into the standing crop, you shall begin counting 7 weeks. Then you shall observe the festival of Shavuos for Yahweh your Elohim. The voluntary offerings that you should give should be commensurate with how much Yahweh your Elohim would have blessed you. You shall rejoice before Yahweh your Elohim, you, your son, your daughter, your slave, your maidservant, the Levite who is in your cities, the proselyte, the orphan, and the widow who are among you, in the place that Yahweh your Elohim will choose to rest his name.
Right.
You shall remember that you were a slave.
So this is all talking about Jerusalem. With that, the rose of power. I think that's the rose. That's right there. Is that an additional word?
You shall remember that you were a slave in Egypt, and you shall observe and perform these decrees.
What verse you in there?
Verse 13.
Hmm?
13.
Where'd you stop at?
17.
All right, so you got anything you want to comment about that? Not really? All right, so that's he said all right, so what are you doing now, Mario? As we go ahead and read the Isaiah 66, 1 through 24.
He didn't finish
I thought you stopped at 17.
I'm 13.
Okay, go ahead.
You shall make the festival of Sukkot for a 7-day period.
So Sukkot is the festival of boots.
When you gather in from your threshing floor and from your wine vat, you shall rejoice on your festival. You, your son, your daughter, your slave, your maidservant, the Levite, the proselyte, the orphan, and the widow who are in your cities. A 7-day period. A 7-day period shall you celebrate to Yahweh.
So that's the Feast of Weeks, right? I mean, the Feast of Boots, right? When you remember that Yahweh had his dwelling boots. Okay.
In the place that Yahweh your Elohim will choose. For
He's
Yahweh.
talking about Jerusalem. That's the only place he chose. He didn't choose Telerad. Right? He didn't choose Telerad. Telerad is not Jerusalem. Don't believe the hype. Go ahead.
For Yahweh will have blessed you in all your crops and your
Just
heavy
button,
fruit.
just button it up, so you don't gotta do all that extra stuff.
And you will,
Go ahead.
and you will be completely joyous
Mm-hmm.
3 times a year.
3 times a year, go ahead.
All your males
Every human male of an Israelite nature, Israelite lineage, go ahead,
should appear before Yahweh,
is to go before Yahweh, go ahead.
your Elohim,
Uh-huh.
in a place that he will choose.
Which is Jerusalem, go ahead.
On the festival of Matzos,
The Feast of Matzah, which is the memorial of the, which is the Feast of Unleavened Bread, go ahead.
the festival of Shabbos,
Which is the Feast of Weeks, go ahead.
and the festival of Sukkos,
Sukkot, which is talking about the memorial, the Feast of the Feast of Tabernacles, which is the Tabernacles, which is to remember the fact that we was in Egypt and we was in dwelling in booths for 40 years. Okay.
and ye shall not appear before Yahweh
So
empty-handed.
we put not empty-handed means you're supposed to bring your type. It don't mean you're supposed to bring your wine to the community feast that we have. That ain't what that means. It means we're supposed to bring forth our types to Jerusalem at that time of the year for the celebration. Okay?
Everyone according to what he can give, according to the blessing that Yahweh your Elohim has
And the
given you.
blessing he gave you was talking about the type that he gave, the blessing he gave your land. Say something, man.
This ends the Torah Pasha reading.
All right, so that's the end of the Torah Parashah reading. It's talking about the holy days and the feast and the celebrations that we're supposed to be observing every year. Now, all Israelites supposed to be keeping these days as holy days, but only the men are commanded to go there and to celebrate them in Jerusalem, if you can get there. You know, if you can't get to Jerusalem, then you don't have the money, or you don't have the transportation to go to Yerushalayim. You could either A, move into this part of the world where we are now, so it'd be a little closer for you to get to it, or you can just save for it throughout the year so you can go to it. All right, but don't feel like because you're keeping that one commandment that you got a first class ticket to the kingdom of heaven. And that's what a lot of you brothers be pushing it like, oh, you got to go to Jerusalem, got to go to Jerusalem. Meanwhile, you still getting high. All right. Meanwhile, you still getting high, whether you drinking it, or smoking it, snorting it, or injecting it. You're still getting high off of stuff. All right. Meanwhile, what? Meanwhile, you're still telling brothers it's okay to work on the Sabbath, and you're doing all this after going to appear before the Most High on these holy days. How wicked is that? All right. Let's read the Torah portion now. Not the Torah portion, but the Haftarah.
As he slew a man, he that sacrificeth the lamb, as if he cut off a dog's neck. He that offereth an oblation, as he offereth the swine's blood. He that burneth incense, as if he blessed an idol. Yea, they have chosen their own ways, and their souls delighteth in their abominations. I also will choose their delusions, and will bring their fears unto them, because when I called, none did answer. When I spake, they did not hear, but they did evil before mine eyes, and chose that in which.
So hear what he said? Yahshua did evil before Yahweh's eyes. Meaning what? They knew they was doing evil, and they knew Yahweh was seeing it, but they didn't care. They didn't care. They didn't care, man. Okay?
And chose that in which I delighted not.
They made a choice into that which Yahweh did not have no delight in that. See, on the Sabbath, Yahweh don't have no delight in you having sex with your woman on the Sabbath. He ain't no pervert. Oh, they kissing? Let me see, I got delight in that. The Sabbath is Yahweh's day to do what you want to do to please him, not to please yourself. Heard a brother say, that's your day. Totally not what the Bible say. How often do you read the Bible and see that the Sabbath ever was called your day? It's called the Most High's day. Okay? Sabbath is called the Most High's Day. Alright, so Sabbath is called the Most High's Day. Alright, let's call your verse and stuff when you're ready again, man.
Isaiah chapter 66, verse 5.
Alright, go ahead.
Hear the word of Yahweh, ye that tremble at his word, your brethren that hated you, that cast you out for my name's sake, said, let Yahweh be glorified, that he shall appear to your joint, and there shall be a shame, a voice of noise from the Satan, a voice from the temple, a voice of Yahweh, that rendereth recompense to his enemies. Before she travailed, she brought forth. Before her pain came, she delivered of a man-child. Who hath heard such a thing? Who hath seen such things? Shall the earth be made to bring forth in one day? Or shall a nation be born at once? For as soon as Zion travailed, she brought forth her children. Shall it bring to the birth, and not cause to bring forth? Saith Yahweh, shall I cause to bring forth, and shut the womb, saith Yahweh. Rejoice ye with Jerusalem, and be glad with her, all ye that love her. Rejoice for her, rejoice for joy with her, all ye that mourn for her, that ye may suck and be satisfied with the rest of her consolations, that ye may milk out and be delighted with the abundance of her glory. For thus saith Yahweh, behold, I will extend peace to her like a river, and the glory of the Gentiles like a flowing stream. You shall suck, you shall be borne upon her sides, and you shall be dandled upon her knees. As one whom his mother comforteth, so will I comfort you, and you shall be comforted in Jerusalem. And when ye see this, your heart shall rejoice, and your bones shall flourish like a bird. And the hand of Yahweh shall be known toward his servants, and his indignation toward his enemies. For behold, Yahweh will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury.
So all these people talking, they don't believe this and believe that, man. The Most High gonna come with that fire, and he's gonna show everybody what it is. You don't got following now if you don't think it's the right thing to do. If you think you greater, you got something better, your doctrine is true, Most High gonna render that judgment. Then what's gonna happen? Go ahead.
And is rebuked with flames of fire. For by fire and by his sword will Yahweh plead with all flesh, and the slain of Yahweh will be many.
The slain of Yahweh are gonna be many. Meaning there's gonna be a lot of death and bloodshed that Yahweh gonna be rendering out. Go ahead.
They that sanctify themselves and purify themselves are in the gardens.
In the gardens. They that call themselves doing something clean, call themselves doing something upright, they are what?
In the gardens. Behind one tree in the midst, eating swine's flesh.
Eating pig. You sanctify yourself, but then you putting unclean things into your system like we just saw in Deuteronomy 14 we ain't supposed to be doing. So what does that mean? That means that you're a hypocrite. And you wasting your time. This whole Israelite thing, man, a lot of y'all brothers, y'all don't really love Yahushua, man. And that's why you're getting carried away into false doctrines, man. You got an ulterior motive. And that's why you keep following after nonsense. When your motive is pure, like a child, now you can see and follow the right thing. Go ahead.
And the abomination and the mounts shall be consumed together, saith Yahweh. For I know their works and their thoughts. They shall come, that I will gather all nations and tongues, and they shall come and see my glory. And I will set a sign among them, and I will send those that escape of them unto the nations, to Tarshish, Pool, and
So the Gentiles that escape, of the nations, the ones that did escape what? The ones that escaped death, because death is coming upon the Goyim. Death is coming to the Gentiles. But the Most High is going to allow some of them Gentiles to escape death. And the majority of them Gentiles that escape death are going to be doing what? It's going to be doing work. And what's the work they're going to be doing? Read.
That draw the bow, two bow, and those in to isles afar off. They have not heard my fame, neither seen my glory, and they shall declare my glory among the Gentiles.
They're going to be, the Gentiles going to be spreading the gospel of Yahweh. Right here. The Gentiles going to be spreading the truth to Yahweh. The Gentiles going to be doing that. The ones that's left. You know why? Because they seen that fire. They seen that destruction. They seen that death. And they're going to live through it out here, Hashan. When they live through it, now they're going to go throughout the nation saying, yo, Yahweh is real. You got to serve him. Get down with Yasha Allah. They the rulers and the kings of the earth. If not, go ahead.
And they shall bring all your brethren for an offering unto Yahweh, and of all nations upon horses, and in chariots, and in litters, and upon mules, and upon swift beasts, to my holy mountain Jerusalem.
So they're going to be bringing the Israelites from all over the world back to Jerusalem, to Yahweh as an offering, as a gift to Yahweh. Yahweh, we found some Israelites over here in Iwo Jima. We found some children of Yasha Allah over here in northern Turkey in the mountains. We're going to bring Yasha Allah from all over. Right, go ahead.
Saith Yahweh, as the children of Yasha Allah bring an offering in a clean vessel into the house of Yahweh. And I will also take of them for the priests and for Levites, saith Yahweh. For as the new heavens and the new earth which I will make shall remain before me, saith Yahweh, so shall your seed and your name remain. And it shall come to pass that from one new moon to
one
another,
crescent moon,
one new moon,
one white moon,
one new moon,
one new moon. The new moon has always been the black moon. The first letter to new moon is Kadash. The word new moon itself means fence or ladder. The foundation of a fence or a ladder must be rooted in the ground. And when it's rooted in the ground, it's in the darkness. The beginning of everything, Genesis chapter 1, is the darkness. The beginning of the Kadash is the darkness. That's the first letter in the name, for goodness sake. It's ladder or fence, which is rooted in the ground. Beneath the ground. Okay? Everybody understand that? Well, we can look at the word and look at how it's used in the Bible and figure out what it is. So that's Kadash. Go ahead.
from one new moon to another, and from one Shabbat to
One
another.
Shabbat to another. Shabbat. What's the letter Shabbat? Shabbat is tooth. All right? Go ahead and call for speak up. All right, so he's talking about every Sabbath, Shabbat, every seventh day. Seventh day. Shabbat. How do you say seven in Hebrew? Shabbat. 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 It's a clue in the Sabbath to show you when to keep it. Shabbat plus what? Do it say Shabbat plus 7? Or do it say Shabbat plus 1 or Shabbat plus 7? Or say Shabbat every 7? Okay?
Shall all flesh come to worship before me?
So the Sabbath and the new moon are days of worship. How the brother's gonna tell you can have sex on the Sabbath, man? And you releasing semen, then going to observe it as a holy day to the Most High? How's that? When the Most High says, that a joke or something? So the Most High said, look, man, you can keep the whole what? The whole day is a holy day. It don't stop being holy just because you leave from your little school that you're going to. It's a holy day for the whole day. Whether you're in Jerusalem or outside Jerusalem, whether you're in Jerusalem or New Jerusalem, New Jersey, whether you in Nauru, New Rochelle, right? No matter where you at. If you there and it's a Shabbat, you got to keep it holy. If you there, this is Shabbat, you have to keep it holy. Read.
And they shall go forth and look upon the carcasses of the men that have transgressed against me.
That means them people that transgress the commandments, they're going to be dead. You're going to get killed for breaking the commandments in the new kingdom, man. You're going to be killed for breaking the commandments in the new kingdom. People that transgressed against the Most High, they're going to get death. Period. Ain't going to be no negotiating or nothing. Go ahead.
For their worm shall not die,
Uh-huh.
neither shall their fire be
Uh-huh.
quenched,
Uh-huh.
and they shall be an abhorring unto all flesh.
All right, that's it. Right? All right. So John 6, 35 through 51. Brother got you all set up, man. Ain't the island. Go get that dress and put it next door to the other thing. No, put it in the bucket. Put it in the back of the dirt in some tub.
John chapter 6, verse 35.
Bring it out.
And Yahushua said unto them,
Uh-huh.
I am the bread of life. He that cometh to me shall never hunger, and he that believeth on me shall never thirst. But I said unto you, that ye also have seen me, and believe not. All that the Father giveth me shall come to me, and him that cometh to me I will in no wise cast out. For I came down from heaven, not to do mine own will, but the will of him that sent me. And this is the Father's will which hath sent me. All of that of all which he hath given me, I should lose nothing, but should raise it up again at the last day.
So you can't fall out this truth, man. Once you in this truth, you in it. Brothers that fall out the truth wasn't ever in it, they were just faking it. Go ahead.
And this is the will of him that sent me,
Uh-huh.
that everyone which seeth the Son and believeth on him may have everlasting life.
You believe on Yahweh, you got everlasting life. And then you got to keep the commandments. So if you don't keep the commandments, you don't believe on Yahweh, you don't got everlasting life. You got to do all three. All three go together. Eternal life, believing in the Son. Eternal life, believing in the Son. And what? Being obedient. So a lot of brothers that ain't obedient, man, they think they got eternal life. Because they think they most likely can say, oh man, you mean you didn't understand when the brothers told you that the new moon wasn't how you calculate the Sabbath? Man, they should explain to you better. Come on into the kingdom, man. Oh, you mean that you really was believing that the new moon was the white moon and you didn't want to take the correction when they told you it wasn't? That's okay. Come on to the kingdom. Oh, you mean that you really thought that a man could lay and marry with another man? You didn't believe them? They didn't convince you good enough? Don't worry about it. Come on into the kingdom. Karaoke's on Tuesdays. You think that's really going to happen? You think the Most High got a separate, the Most High say, how many laws is it for us and the Gentiles? How many laws is it? No, how many laws do we got? What does the scripture say? Who knows the scripture? Come on now. One law for the stranger and the Israelite. One law is one law. There's one law, that means there's what? One interpretation of the law. One law, one Torah. It ain't no one law and then HODC, Banya Yasha'Allah, Mashra Yasha'Allah, all right, LOZ, all right, Shakari, all right, IUIC, ISUPK, all right, HORS, House of Redeemed Servant, all right, Yahweh's Camp. That mean that everybody got their own interpretation of this one law and we all gonna make it to the kingdom due to our obedience? No, that's a lie. That's impossible. So you gotta get into the Torah, man. You gotta get to the spirit of repentance through wisdom. That's the only way to understand this book. Like Yahushua told Peter. What did Yahushua tell Peter when he said, yo, you the son of God? What did he tell him? What did he tell him? He said, flesh and blood has not revealed this unto you. All right, go ahead.
And I will raise him up at the last day.
You believe in Yahushua, man? He gonna raise you up at the last day. If you believe on him, what verse you in?
That was just 40.
Verse 40, y'all. All right, you got 60 more verses to go. 11 more verses to go. You believe on him, you're going to be resurrected on the last day. Go ahead.
The Jews then murmured at him because he said, I am the bread which came down from heaven. And they said, is not this Yahushua, the son of Joseph?
What? How you bread coming out from heaven? You Joseph's son. Go ahead.
His father and mother we know. How is it then that he saith, I came down from heaven? Yahushua therefore answered and said unto them, murmur not among yourselves. No man can come to me, except the Father which hath sent me. Draw him, and I will raise him up at the
See
last
that?
day.
You can come to being an Israelite, knowing you're an Israelite, but that don't mean you've come to the Father and the Son. A lot of brothers only come to, oh, I know I'm Israel, that's it. They don't come to Yahushua. They don't talk about Yahushua. They don't preach and teach Yahushua. Nor the commandments of Moses. Okay?
It is written in the prophets, and they shall.
What, did he tell you the book and the chapter and the verse? What did he say? It is what?
It is written in
That's
the
it.
prophets.
He ain't gonna sit there and debate with you and say, well, I don't got my Bible. I'm gonna believe you. Because people back then trusted and knew the word of the Most High. Read.
And
It
they
is
shall-
written that what?
in the prophets, and they shall be all taught of Elohim. Every man therefore that hath heard and hath learned of the Father cometh unto me.
Where's that at? When it said they shall no more teach their neighbor, they shall all be learned and taught of the Most High. Everybody gonna know the commandments automatically. That's in Jeremiah 31 through 35. We know that scripture. We know that's in the book. So your house ain't gotta flip through literally 1,000 pages to prove it to us. Or he ain't gotta be like carpal tunnel syndrome on them scrolls trying to find out what verse is where. He said, you know the book, you should know what I'm talking about. Go ahead.
Verse 46.
Uh-huh.
Not that any man hath seen the Father, save he which is of Elohim. He hath seen the Father. Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that believeth on me hath everlasting life. I am that bread of life. Your fathers did eat manna in the wilderness, and are dead. This is the bread which cometh down from heaven, that a man may eat thereof and not die. I am the living bread which came down from heaven. If any man eat of this bread, he shall live forever. And the bread that I will give is my flesh, which I will give for the life of the world.
The life of what?
The life of the world.
Man, your house shall die for the little birds and the little birds too. There's gonna be little birds in the new kingdom. Your house shall die so that they wouldn't have to be destroyed when the Most High wouldn't destroy them. The Most High would have destroyed the whole earth if it wasn't for Yahushua. He did it once, didn't he? Then he said, okay, y'all little birds, don't worry about it. Y'all just stay in the air, y'all ain't gonna be killed. Or y'all little bunny rabbits, all the bunny rabbits and all the little cute squirrels, they died in the flood too. All of them died in the flood. Get your fingers out your mouth. All of them died in the flood, didn't they? So your house that came so the little birds, the bunnies, and you and me won't have to die on this judgment. But I guarantee you, boy, them birds that's in Babylon, in America, when the Most High bring up destruction, I guarantee you, boy, Canada and Mexico are going to be overpopulated in a matter of days. Because they're going to be running out of America, boy. They're going to know the Most High judgment is coming. They're going to know his judgment is coming. All right? It's going to be a reverse migration. And Trump ain't going to be able to migrate nowhere if he's still alive. Okay? Is that funny? All right, yeah. So he is the living bread. Meaning what? That when we look at Yahushua, he gives us nourishment. He gives us the secrets are in Yahushua's words, man. All these doctrines that people disagreeing over, they in Yahushua's word. And that what? And those words line up with the Torah. Okay? So that's all we got, right? All right, so we finished. We can close up. Everybody's saddest part of the day. Sorry, y'all. We can't stay here forever. We can. Not here technically, but we can read the book forever. Technically, kind of. All right, am I coming? Yeah. Now when Yahushua was in Bethany, in the house of Simon the leper, there came unto him a woman having an alabaster box of very precious ointment, and poured it on his head as he sat at meat. But when his disciples saw it, they had great indignation, saying, to what purpose is this waste? For this ointment might have been sold for 300 pence, 1 year's wages, and given to the poor. When Yahushua understood it, he said unto them, why trouble ye the woman? For she has wrought a good work upon me. For ye have the poor always with you, but me ye have not always. For in that she has poured this ointment on my body, she did it for my burial. Verily I say unto you, wheresoever this gospel shall be preached in the whole world, there shall also this that this woman has done be told for a memorial of her. All right. Aguatin Shavuot. Amadwan. Barakwa. Yabaraka kam Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Kwam Yashala.
Kwam Yashala.
Kwam Yahushua.
Kwam Yahushua.
Kwam Yahweh.
Kwam Yahweh.
Hallelujah.
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 Hallelujah. Yani Mata. Amadwa Shabbat. Aguatin Amadwan. Amadwa. Barakwa. Yashamar kan Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Kwam Yashala.
Kwam Yashala.
Kwam Yahushua.
Kwam Yashala.
Kwam Yahweh.
Kwam Yahweh.
Hallelujah.
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 Yani Mata. Amadwa Shabbat. All right, that's it for the day. All right. What was your question?
Didn't know if the other animals there.
No, not all of them. He bought 7 animals of each, 7 boys and 7 girls of the animals that we can eat, and he bought 2 boys and 2 girls of the animals that we can't eat.
So he bought a little bit.
He bought 7 animals, 7 boys and 7 girls of all of the different types of animals that we can eat. 7 boy cows, 7 girl cows. 7 boy sheep, 7 girl sheep. 7 boy goats, 7 girl goats. 7 boy bison, 7 girl bison. 7 boy antelopes, 7 girl antelopes. All right? Then he bought 2 of everything we can't eat. 2 boy squirrels, 2 girl squirrels. 2 boy crows, 2 girl crows. 2 boy snails, 2 girl snails. All right? 2 boy rabbits, 2 girl rabbits. Okay? 2 boy salamanders, 2 girl salamanders. 2 boy lizards, 2 girl lizards. 2 boy iguanas, 2 girl iguanas. Iguanas, like that, okay? All right.
The second question was, when you go in mother milk,
What?
put the goats in.
When you take milk or yogurt, and you put meat inside of it, when it's cooking or before you cook it, to soak it, it makes it real soft and tender. It gives it a real good flavor. So that's what people do sometimes to when they cook the meat. So Yahweh said, don't take the, when you have a goat, don't kill the goat and then cook it in the milk that came from his mother. Don't do that. That's what that means. Like sometimes we'll cook with, where does goat yogurt come from? The milk. So we take goat yogurt and we put the goat milk in it, the meat in it, and then we cook it. We broke the commandment, right? So that's what he said don't do. Okay? All right. What's your question?
What's the difference between a stranger and an alien?
Well, we have to look at that one. Probably it said guard for one of them. And then for the other one, it would say, well, what verse was that? Find the verse where it said it. Because Isaiah was reading, right? It said,
I think 1424 maybe, somewhere around there.
you're 1421. Close. Yeah. 1421. So 1421 says, stranger, I wonder if it access the warden, anyway, for 21, it says, la'ata kalwa kal, la bala, la guard. So guard like a sojourner. Remember that's what Moses said, I was a stranger, and his name is son, Gershom. Okay. It says Asherah, Basha'ir Yaka, that's in your gauge. Fa, Ba'ala, it says Wa Akala, Awa, Nakal, La, Nakalia, Kaya, Ayan, Kabashia. I reckon the second word. Or it sounds so strange, it says, hour, what was it, hour? Makar, Nakaria. Nakar. It's like another type of Gentile. It says Nakar. So like Nakar is somebody that kind of just moving through. Because the first word is fish. The second word is like cover. That's what you were doing earlier with your feet doing Isaiah. You was doing something toward Isaiah when we was about to do the reading with your hands out when you're doing something with your feet. So Nakar. So look up go into your you got your phone with you? Let's do Nakar. It says La Nakaria. So it's Nakar. You can put Strong's Nakar and it'll bring up the definition. But the first one is the guard, which is a sojourner. All right. Stranger. Car. I forgot you can bring that. You can bring this up, right? I forgot you had this option in here.
In the linear?
Huh?
In the linear?
Yeah, I think it has an interlinear option here. Get out the kitchen if you're not. Get out the kitchen, then I help you. Wasn't it 1421? All right, so you're gonna try to answer that for you. The guard is like a stranger, but you kind of stand there for a long time. What they might call like a sojourner. So you there, you kind of adapted to the ways of the people. The other one, Nakar. That's just a regular foreigner. Because the guard is it's like they kind of stand for a while. Stranger kind of so they passing through. The car so we kind of passing through. It's like that's a different people in a different nation. Kind of alienate from the natural born Israelite. Then we got the guard, which is the person that's staying there. So the Nakar seems like he's still attached to another land, another culture, another people. But the guard seems like he's rooted there for a certain time period. You know what I'm saying? So the guard is camel's back and then a head. So great movement, travel, then a head, okay, chill here, like Abraham did. I mean, like Abraham did in the other lands, and like Moses did when he went to the land of Midian. He was a stranger there, but he was taking a route. He wasn't like in the car. He married the women there. He became part of that environment, as opposed to in the car, can be like somebody that's kind of just passing through, you know. Deuteronomy 29:22 says, so that the generations to come of your children that rise up after you, and the stranger, the Nakar, that shall come from a far land, shall say, when they see the plagues of the land and the sickness which Yahweh has laid upon it. All right, so that's what I see as the difference between the Nakar and the guard. Any more questions?
When we were talking about the animals, you said we can eat the pig, the goat, and the rabbit, but we can't eat them.
Yeah, we can be friends with them, and we can be friends with them, and we can have them as pets, and yeah, but we just can't eat them.
The goat?
Hmm?
You said the goat.
No, we can eat the goat. We can eat the goat. We can eat the goat, man. Yeah, we can eat the goats. We can eat them. A lot. Okay. Shalom Laka, Alberto, Jose, Shalom, Vanessa, Shalom, good morning, and good evening from Turkey. It's 5:39 p.m. over here. All right, so that's the Torah for today. Any other questions? No more questions? All right, Shabbat Shalom, everybody. May Yahweh bless you, and may Yahweh Shai. Shalom Lakum.